Osmosis is the movement of water along a concentration gradient from an area of high water to an area of low water. Let's show you an example. So we've got a semi-permeable membrane. So that means it's a barrier that's got little holes in it that allow some things to go through. So it allows the water to go through. So on one side of our membrane, we have got a high concentration of water molecules. Okay, so lots and lots of water molecules on this side. And on this side, we've got a low concentration of water. So we've got a concentration gradient. That means we've got a difference in the amount of water from one side or the other. Osmosis is the movement of water along a concentration gradient from an area of high water to an area of low water. So that means that the water is going to travel in this direction from high water to low water, and it's going to go through the pores in our semi-permeable membrane, and it's going to continue to do that until the concentration of water on each side of the membrane is balanced out. It's the same. What I want to do is show you some examples, or I guess talk you through some scenarios and apply our knowledge of osmosis to work out what's going to happen. First of all, I want to introduce one more idea, and that is the difference between a solute and a solvent. So solutes are the particles, like glucose or salt particles, and the solvent is the liquid like water. Now that's important for us because what dictates the proportion or the concentration of water is how much solute is in the solution. So I'm going to show you an experiment here where we've got a cell. Well, it's probably, let's say it's tissue. Let's say that it's a piece of potato, which is, obviously it's got plant cells. And we're going to put it in water that's pure water. So pure water that doesn't have any solute in it, doesn't have any salt or glucose or anything. And this is our potato. What we need to do is look at the proportion of water on either side, and what helps us do that is to consider how much solute is on either side. So pure water means it's got a very low, if not no, solute. Okay, so it's got no salt, no glucose, but it's pure water, so it's got lots and lots of water. So it's got a high concentration of water. We always compare one to the other. So the potato then, compared with outside, has got high solute because it's got sugar and it's got salt in it, etc. And it's got low water. Okay, now, so what I want you to think about is what direction is the water going to move across the membrane. So we've got high water on the outside, in our beaker, and we've got low water in our potato. Osmosis is the movement of water along a concentration gradient from an area of high water to an area of low water. So which way is the water going to move? Well, that's right. It's going to move into the cell. Water is going to move from the beaker into our potato, and our potato is going to swell up and get heavier because it's got more water in it. So that's the way that we do these. We think about where is the highest concentration of water, and water is going to go from that direction towards the other side of the membrane. So something else I need to talk to you about is membranes, a semi-permeable membrane. All cells have a membrane around them. This is an animal cell, so it's got a nucleus and it's got all sorts of other sorts of organelles in it as well. Okay, but it's an animal cell, and around it is a cell membrane which is semi-permeable. and it allows the movement of some things in and out of the cell, including water. So it's the cell membrane that controls the movement of water in and out of the cell. Now, plant cells also have a cell membrane, but they have a cell wall as well, and that cell wall gives the plant cell a little bit more shape. So it's got organelles as well. Okay, so the cell wall provides the plant with stability, but doesn't control the movement of water in and out of the cell. What does that is, again, the cell membrane. Okay, so that's a take-home message. Osmosis, movement of water along concentration gradient from an area of high water to an area of low water. What controls it in the cell is the cell membrane. Regardless of whether it's an animal or a plant, it's always the cell membrane. Okay, here's a couple of scenarios for you. You've got a piece of lettuce, so you know it's your salad, and it's all wilted, so it's lost its water. So what are we going to do? What are we going to put our salad leaves, our lettuce leaves in to get water to go into the lettuce leaves and to make them crisp for our lunch? So we've got two choices. So we've got our lettuce leaf and we want to either put it into, what would you say, salty water or sugary water? Let's probably say sugar water or plain water. So we've got our lettuce leaf and we want to put it into either sugar water or pure water that doesn't have sugar. Okay, now, so let's have a think before we even put our lettuce leaf in. Let's have a think here. Sugar water is going to have high solute because it's got high amounts of sugar and low water. Pure water has got high water and low solute, low sugar, could we say, or solute. Okay, all right. So we want to take our lettuce and put it in either the pure water with high amount of water or sugar water with a low amount of water. What do we want to do here is we want the water to go into the lettuce. So have a think about it. We're going to put our lettuce leaf into, this is our lettuce leaf, we're going to put it into the high water because inside our lettuce leaf we've got high solute and low water. So we want to put our lettuce leaf in to the pure water, so water goes into our leaf and makes it all crispy for our lunch. Next one, I want you to think about what happens to the brain, this is the brain here, if we drink too much water. What you need to understand, again I'm going to show you a beaker with a cell in it. At this time, this is our brain cells, and this is the liquid around the cells of the brain. So this is our extracellular fluid. If we drink lots and lots of water, that water is in the extracellular fluid around our brain. So we get high water around our brain. And inside the cells of our brain, we've got low water. So, without even thinking about the solute, what's going to happen here? Water moves through osmosis along a concentration gradient from an area of high water to an area of low water. So you can see that water is going to move into the brain and the cells of the brain, and that means it's going to swell. So the cells of the brain swell and the brain swells. Now the trouble is, of course, that we have got a skull that doesn't move. It's the brain case. So even though this is our nose and stuff, but we've got a brain case comes down like this. It's got a little hole for the spinal cord to go through. Now, when we have increased water in our cells of our brain, it's pushing out. We've got increased pressure inside the skull. And the only thing that can do to relieve that is for the brain to start pushing down through this hole where the spinal cord goes. And that causes pressure on the parts of the brain that control our breathing and control our alertness, and causes unconsciousness and can actually cause death from drinking too much water. And that's the reason why. It's because of osmosis.